Hi there, Presley here. What lost cities are there left for Nathan Drake to discover? While it may seem that there are none left, there are still many lost cities of legend to uncover. And with Uncharted 5 being teased in recent PS5 adverts, a new game may be announced soon. So until then, let's look at 10 lost cities for Uncharted 5. Also known as the White City, this lost city is perfect for Uncharted. In 1940, explorer Theodore Maud returned from Honduras claiming that he had discovered the lost city of the monkey god. He returned to the USA with thousands of artifacts to support his claim. Maud vowed to return to excavate the site. However, he did not live to fulfill his vow. In 1954, Maud was found hanging in his room. Thus, Theodore Maud took the exact location of the White City to the grave. But it is said to be in La Mosquitia, the easternmost part of Honduras. The city was named the City of the Monkey God because it contained an enormous pyramid topped with a giant statue of a monkey god. The name the White City comes from the white stone buildings. Explorers who have since gone in search of the lost city have reported numerous dangers en route. These include flesh-eating parasites and were-jaguars. Modern archaeologists believe that Theodore Maud fabricated his discovery. Nevertheless, the facts are still interesting enough to build an Uncharted story. For example, the mystery surrounding the passing of Theodore Maud. Was someone trying to silence him? Perhaps a secret cult wanted to ensure that no one ever found the city of the monkey god. Opona is a lost city from Russian folklore. It is said to be located in the far north of Russia, at the edge of the flat earth. Also known as the Golden Land and Belavodai, it is described as a utopia. This earthly paradise is only reachable by the right courageous explorer. Groups of peasants, called wanderers, are said to be searching for the Golden Land. They are described as hostiles, hell-bent on defending their utopia. These wanderers could make great Uncharted villains. Even though there is no material treasure in Opona, the glory of finding this lost land is too much for any explorer to resist. From Arthurian legend, Camelot has a vast lore ripe for an Uncharted story. Camelot refers to the castle and court of the legendary King Arthur. It was first written about in the 12th century French poem Lancelot, the Knight of the Cart. After the death of King Arthur, the city fell to ruin and was lost to history. The precise location is unknown, though stories locate it somewhere in exotic Great Britain. It is said to be surrounded by plains and forests. The Cathedral of St. Stephen's is one of the exterior landmarks of Camelot. Inside the castle is the famous Round Table, where the Knights of the Round Table had a vision of the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail would of course make a classic Uncharted treasure. The Grail could be defended by seemingly immortal knights. These would fit in with other supernatural enemies found late in Uncharted games. Another treasure closely associated with Camelot is Excalibur. King Arthur's fabled sword in the stone would be another treasure worthy of Uncharted. The sword could be protected by magic traps set by Merlin himself. These would be reminiscent of the exploding mummies in Uncharted 4. Camelot would be a unique addition to Uncharted. It might be a welcome change from Asian and South American jungles. And the rich lore behind the location has plenty to explore. Troy is a lost city from ancient Greece. First written about in Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, it is the historic site of the Trojan War. The Greeks famously took Troy by hiding warriors inside a giant horse statue, now known as the Trojan horse. This lost city is located somewhere in the northwest coast of modern-day Turkey. It is described as a fortress-like city with high walls and watchtowers. Lost treasures of Troy include Priam's treasure. This is a cache belonging to King Priam, the last king of Troy. It is said to contain thousands of pieces of jewelry, including the Jewels of Helen. Heinrich Schliemann claimed to have discovered it in the 19th century, but this discovery is disputed. Uncharted has never done anything based on ancient Greece before. Its rich history and mythology would be ideal for Uncharted 5. Atlantis is a lost city that needs no introduction, but here I go. It was first written about by Greek philosopher Plato in 360 BC. He described it as a wealthy, technologically advanced city with a series of complex canals. Around 9600 BC, the whole city was submerged into the sea by an earthquake. As well known as Atlantis is, no one actually knows where it is. Historians place it in the Cyprus Basin in the eastern Mediterranean Sea. Others say it is located in the Atlantic Ocean, hence the name. Other guesses include Turkey, the Black Sea, Morocco, the Caribbean, Indonesia, and even Antarctica. Holy smokes, I think I got them all in one. Being under the sea, there are many dangers awaiting explorers who seek Atlantis. These could be in the form of any manner of sea creatures. For the locations the games visit, Uncharted does surprisingly lack animal encounters. The sea itself could also present a hazard. This was used to great effect in Uncharted 3. Though a cliché, it would be interesting to see Uncharted's interpretation of Atlantis. Birengan City is an urban legend from the Philippines. It is said to lie in the Samar province. It is also known as the Phantom City because it is invisible to outsiders. This lost city is described as a modern city with towering skyscrapers and a bullet train. And it has riches beyond real-world comprehension. Most interestingly though are the natives. Birengan City is inhabited by supernatural beings called Encantos. These enchanted beings are said to be shapeshifters. They could be a great late-game supernatural enemy in an Uncharted game. Birengan City is unlike most lost cities due to it being a modern city. This would make it an interesting choice for Uncharted 5. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon is one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. However, its existence has been disputed because it has never been found. It is thought to have been built by Nebuchadnezzar II between 605 and 562 BC. The Hanging Gardens were located in the ancient city of Babylon in present-day Iraq. Babylon fell when it was conquered by Persian King Cyrus the Great in 539 BC. Thus, the Hanging Gardens have been lost ever since. The gardens were described as tiered terraces which imitated mountains. These were planted with trees, shrubs, and flowers. The gardens also contained man-made waterfalls. A legendary treasure that could be linked with the Hanging Gardens of Babylon is the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark was said to have been lost when Nebuchadnezzar II conquered Jerusalem in 587 BC. It is possible that Nebuchadnezzar stole the Ark and brought it back to Babylon. There are not many mainstream adventures based on the 7 wonders of the ancient world. So this kind of story would be a fresh angle for Uncharted 5. In 1925, explorer Percy Fawcett led an expedition to find the lost city of Z. Fawcett was inspired by a document he read in the National Library of Rio de Janeiro. The document, called Manuscript 512, was written by a Portuguese explorer in 1753. According to the manuscript, there was a lost city in the Mato Grosso region of Brazil. The city was said to be full of silver, with multi-storied buildings, stone arches, and wide streets that led to a lake. Unfortunately, Percy Fawcett never returned from his expedition. Did he sacrifice his life trying to find the city? Or did he actually find it and decide to live the rest of his life there? The world may never know. But this mystery, based on true events, would make excellent source material for Uncharted 5. Hyperborea is a legendary lost land from ancient Greek myth. Its location is in the far north of the world, beyond the North Wind. It is an earthly paradise inaccessible to mere mortals. So it is inhabited by a legendary race known as the Hyperboreans, who worship the sun god Apollo. Hyperborea is described as a land of eternal spring. To the north is the earth-encircling river Okeanos, and to the south are the Rhipaean mountains. Vast amounts of gold are said to be kept in these mountains. Hyperborea is considered a place that can grant eternal youth, like the Tree of Life in Uncharted 2. Various dangers await explorers in search of this land, including the harsh cold of the far north. This land is also home to the Arimaspoi, a tribe of one-eyed warriors. And if they don't get you, then the Griffins surely will. Their purpose is to protect the gold stored in the mountains. Though more God of War than Uncharted, with some tweaking, Hyperborea could make a fun lost land to discover. Arctic regions have been neglected in the series, and this can feel very different from the Himalayan mountains in Uncharted 2. It could also be a visual treat if the Northern Lights are included. Before we look at the next lost city, I would just like to say if you've made it this far in the video, give me a like and consider subscribing to Prez1990 for more gaming videos. The myth of the 7 cities of gold was popularized in the 16th century. The Spanish heard of a province in North America named Cibola with 7 cities of gold. The cities were first reported in an expedition led by Spanish conquistador Panfilo de Narvaez in 1527. The expedition was cursed with extreme bad luck. This included storms, hurricanes, attacks by indigenous tribes, and disease, to name a few. There were only 4 survivors from 600. Something did not want Narvaez's crew to find the cities. Years later, a man named Marcos de Niza claimed to have seen the cities. He described them as cities of immense wealth, rich with gold. Treasures included huge pearls and emeralds. He claimed that treasures were so abundant that inhabitants ate off gold and silver plates. Homes were even said to be built with precious metals. These lost cities are similar to El Dorado from Drake's Fortune, though that was revealed to be a golden idol. It would be great to see how Uncharted handles a literal city of gold. Though there is a lot to work with here, these cities are so mysterious that they can be interpreted in any way. Regardless of which lost city is chosen, Uncharted 5 is guaranteed to be another epic adventure. After all, Uncharted has always been about the journey rather than the destination. And there you have it, 10 lost cities for Uncharted 5. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, give me a like and consider subscribing to Prez1990 for more gaming videos. All that's left for me to say is take care, and I'll see you in the next video.